Today, I'm going to be completing an SEO audit on a random Coolsculpting website. I'm an SEO expert with Lead Tagger, and we do SEO for Coolsculpting. So let's get started. Here at Lead Tagger, we always categorize our SEO tactics into 4 main pillars so that we have a solid strategy for all of our clients. So the first pillar of SEO is called indexation. So that's where we analyze how well Google can read your site and also whether or not the main pages on your site are being indexed in Google so that when someone does a search on there, your pages can be found on google.com. The second pillar of SEO is called content. So this is where we look at the on-page content on your site, we look at the words, the media, and we make sure that it's optimized with SEO in mind. The third pillar is called authority. So this is where we look at the backlinks. So looking at the number of backlinks and the quality of those backlinks pointing to your site and comparing those to your competitors and the sites that are outranking you in Google search. The fourth and last pillar of SEO would be called experience. So this is where we make sure your site is mobile optimized, that it looks good on all devices, and that it loads fast. And we also look at other social media elements as well, just to make sure that the overall experience when someone uses your site is top-notch. So with that said, let's jump right into google.com and let's look for a Coolsculpting website that we can do an audit on. So I'm based out in Chino, California, and let's look for a Coolsculpting in Chino. So let's see what we have here. All right, so there's a lot of offices are investing in Google Ads, as you see here. Also within the Google Map Pack, people are having ads in the Google Maps as well. So it's a pretty competitive niche. Let's jump to the second page of Google to see what we can look at. So below the 4 ads that we see, we have, let's do Belisol Med Spa. This is the second one that's ranking on the second page of Google. So let's see what we have here. All right, so this is the site that we will be looking at. At first glance, I think it looks really nice, but there definitely is a lot of room for improvement. Let's jump to this project management tool called PLUTIO. This project management tool is used by us with our clients. We track all of our SEO projects and we share a link to our clients so that they are aware of what we are currently doing, and we communicate through this project management tool. This is really great for individuals and any company that wants to manage projects such as SEO projects in a really easy way. If you want a free 14-day trial of this project management tool, just click the link in the description to check this out. It's a really cool tool that allows you to add start dates, due dates, comments, attach files, things like that. So let's first start off with the first pillar of SEO, and that would be indexation. So let's look at all the indexation checkpoints that we will be looking at in today's audit. So let's see here. The first one is checking to see whether or not you have any duplicate content issues. So duplicate content is really bad for indexation because you don't want to confuse Google as to whether or not one page should be ranking versus another page if they are the exact same pages. So we want to make sure that all the pages on your site are unique. So to check that, we check to see if the home page is redirecting properly. So there is a www dot. Let's remove that and let's see if it redirects properly. Seems like the site is loading a little bit slow. Let's hold on. Okay, perfect. It's redirecting to the www. Let's check to see if it has a forward trailing slash and see if that's redirecting as well. All right, it seems to be working perfect. Let's see, one more check. And here I'm checking to see if the non-HTTP redirects to HTTPS, and it does. So at first glance, I don't think you have any duplicate content issues. So I'm gonna move this card over to the complete column, and I'm gonna continue on through this list here. So the next one is to check to see if you have Google Analytics installed. So when I open up this card, it has a short description. So Google Analytics is a free tool from Google that allows you to see how many people visit your site and how they are interacting with it. So this is an extremely important tool for every website to have installed. So let's see if you have that installed here. Okay. I'm not sure if you have Google Analytics installed, but you do have Google Tag Manager, and you may have had the Google Tag Manager using that to pull the Google Analytics code. So I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you do have Google Analytics installed. So I'm gonna move this card over to complete. The next one is to check whether or not you have an XML sitemap. So XML sitemaps essentially tell Google where to find the most important content on your site and which ones to crawl and index. So this is really important if you want your pages to be on Google. So let's see if you have an XML sitemap installed. Okay, you do have an XML sitemap, and it was generated by Yoast SEO. So that's a plugin via WordPress. Perfect. So I'm going to move this over to complete. The next one is install Yoast SEO plugin. So you do have a WordPress site and you do have Yoast installed. So I'm going to move that over to complete. Now this is an SEO plugin that is really helpful for WordPress websites to allow sites to be updated with SEO elements. It makes things really easy to update, and that's something that I definitely recommend all WordPress websites have. The next one is switch to HTTPS. You do have an HTTPS website and it is secure, so perfect. I'm going to move this over to complete. Next one is create a robots.txt file. So this is a plain text file that instructs search engines where they can go and where they can't go on your site. So in many cases, you might have some sections of the site that you don't want Google to read. And so that's where you would note it on the robots.txt file. So let's see if you have that. I'm not sure if there might be an issue with the file or if you don't have one. So I'm gonna go back and put that under to do just to make sure we have that set up for you. And then last one under the indexation pillar of SEO would be to check to see if you have Google Search Console set up. Now, usually it's hard to determine whether or not you do have Google Search Console, but let's see here. I noticed this meta tag for Google site verification, and this code is usually meant to connect your Google Search Console account with your website. So I'm going to assume that you do have one. So I'm going to move that over to complete. So overall, in terms of the indexation pillar, it looks like most of the indexation checkpoints are complete, which is really great to see. Next, I'm going to move to the next pillar of SEO, and let's look at the content. So this is just the initial checkpoint list that we would look at in today's video. When I look at content, I always like to look at an internal page. I always like to look at the services pages to see what kind of optimizations we can do. So let's look at Kybella. This is a really popular offer. All right, so let's see what else you have. Okay. Well, since we are doing a Coolsculpting SEO audit, let's go to the Coolsculpting page just to keep it consistent. All right, so let's see what we have for Coolsculpting. Okay, not bad. You have before and after images, you have FAQ, you have this cool infographic here. All right, so let's see if how your title tag looks like. So your title tag is the title of the page that shows up on the tab, and also it shows up in Google. So let's see what kind of title tag you have. So I'm going to view page source and see what's your title tag. Okay, well, let's actually jump to this page source And let's see the title tag. So your title tag is Coolsculpting Pipe Basel Med Spa Pipe Serving Chino Hills. Okay, I think this one is an okay title tag. I think there is some opportunity for improvement here. I would probably shorten that and just incorporate Coolsculpting in Chino, California. I think that would be a much simplified and more direct title tag that you could use. So I would move the title tag to do. I think it's okay, but I think it can be improved a little bit. The next one is to check to see if you have an optimized meta description. So a meta description is a couple sentences long that describe what the page is about. And this shows up in Google search. So you want to make sure you have an optimized meta description. So let's see if you have one. All right, you do have one, and it's Coolsculpting at Bella Soul Med Spa in Chino, California. Coolsculpting is a non-invasive cosmetic procedure. Okay, this is an okay meta description. I would recommend more of a call to action. I would add probably the phone number so people can give you a call directly. So this needs to be improved. I'm going to move this over to the to-do column. So a couple more content issues that we could take a look at is the H1 tag. So an H1 tag is a header tag that wraps around the content of your page and explains what the content is about. So this helps with really organizing the content that people see. So let's see what kind of H1 tag you have. All right, so your H1 tag is Coolsculpting. That's not too bad. I definitely would optimize that and incorporate the location. So I would have Coolsculpting in Chino, California. Something along those lines. So I'm going to move this over to do. And last one is optimize your images with descriptive alt tags. So alt tags sit behind the images on your site that help Google explain what the image is about, and it helps people who are visually impaired understand what the images are about as well. So you want to make sure you have alt image tags behind the images. So let's see if you have that. Okay, you do have one. How Coolsculpting works. Coolsculpting before and after. Coolsculpting before and after. Okay. Okay, I don't think this is too bad. I think this is something that is a pretty decent list of alt image tags. And one element that I want to point out is that your logo, the file name is screenshot 2017. That's not a good name for a file, especially for your logo. So I would rename your file and re-upload it. Probably have your company name under the name of your logo file. And for your alt image tag for that, I would probably add the location as well. So I'm going to move that over to do. And let's jump to the next pillar of SEO. Let's do authority. So this is all about backlinks. So I'm going to jump over to a marketing tool called SEMRUSH. So this tool is used by SEO professionals to do competitive research and to check backlinks on a site, and also SEO audits on a site as well. This is a really, really powerful tool that I use daily. So I actually have a 7-day free trial offer for you guys. If you haven't used SEMRush before and if you want to give it a shot, click the link in the description to sign up for a free 7-day trial for SEMRush. So let's take a look at how many backlinks you have. Now, backlinks are treated as a vote of confidence in the eyes of Google. The more backlinks you have, the quality of those backlinks really help you rank higher in Google. So you currently have 171 total backlinks from 41 sites, and your authority score is an 8, which is on the lower end. But let's compare your site with one of your competitors. So I'm going to go back and pick one of your competitors to see what we have. I'm going to jump to the first page of Google and see what site is ranking. Okay, so let's do SoCal Body Institute Medical Spa. So this is probably one of your top competitors. They are ranking on the first page. and let's see what kind of backlinks they have. So again, you have 170 backlinks from 40 sites. So let's see what your competitors have. So they have way more backlinks, quadruple the amount of backlinks. They have 437 backlinks from 53 sites. And their authority score is higher as well. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what kind of sites are linking to them. Directory sites, a yoga site, and a lot of other, looks like more directory sites as well. Some look a little bit spammy from at first glance. Let's look at the actual backlinks and see what kind of backlinks they have. So they have quite a bit of backlinks from this site here. So this looks like probably a blog that they have quite a bit of links coming from. And another kind of like blog here, a Weebly blog as well. So it looks like they have some type of link building campaign going on. So I definitely would recommend you having a robust link building campaign to probably do some guest posting. Definitely try to link to as many local directories as possible as well. That will really help you out. Now, let's see, let's go back to the PLUTIO. So I'm going to move this over to do. And also let's go to check out your Google My Business page and see how you show up in Google My Business. So let's see if I could find you. Okay, perfect. I have you up here. You have 15 reviews and an average of 3.1. So not that great, actually. I would recommend you ask your patients to leave reviews because I think 15 is not that great, and you definitely want to move your average rating higher. All right, you are linking to your site, which is great. So I'm going to move this over to do. Another great opportunity for Google My Business is to create Google Posts. So Google Posts are essentially blog posts that sit on your Google My Business profile. That's something that you want because they act as mini ads or mini social media posts that really help build trust with the people that are looking for someone that's looking for Coolsculpting. So I definitely want to see that on your Google My Business page. And also create and add links to local directories. So you have Google My Business, definitely have one for Yelp, white pages, yellow pages, Foursquare, as many local directories as possible because it does help with your link building, and it tells Google that you are an authority on your area. So definitely have that set up. Now let's jump to the last pillar. So this one is going to be experience. So I always take a look at a little bit of the social media part of this pillar because it's really important that whenever someone shares a page on social media, that the link that they see on social media looks good and that they have a good experience reading it. So I always make sure you have Twitter cards markup and open graph tags markup because that helps social media sites better show the image, the header, and the description for whatever link they share. So let's take a look and see what kind of tags you have. So you have Twitter cards, perfect. Let's look at open graph tags. And you do have open graph tags, perfect. I'm going to move these over to complete. Let's look at the URLs that you have. Let's go to some of your services pages and see your URL structure because URL structure really makes things either hard or easy for your users to understand what the page is about. So acne treatments chino. Let's do Coolsculpting. Go back to Coolsculpting. Let's see what the URL is. Okay, so I think your URL structure is good. So I'm going to move that over to complete. Check to see if your site loads fast and is mobile friendly. So I'm going to be using a tool from Google. It is called the Page Speeds Insights tool. Now this is really great because it tells you whether or not your site is mobile friendly and if it loads fast on mobile devices and desktop computers. So let's see what Google is telling us for your website. It's almost complete. It's at 86%. Okay, so I'm not sure what is going on here, but let me try that one more time. All right, so out of 100, your page speed for mobile is at a 15. That's 15 out of 100. So your site is pretty slow. And as we've been doing this audit, it has been visibly very slow. So I would recommend making sure you take a look at these opportunities to improve your site speed. If you have any questions regarding this, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to help you out. But your site is responsive, so it will be responsive for mobile devices, which is good. You just need to really focus on the site speed. So I'm going to leave a link to this tool in the description so that you have access to it and you could check your site speed as well. I'm going to move this over to do. All right. Next one, add social plugins. So let's see if you have any social plugins on your site. You have links to your Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, but I don't see any social sharing or any follow buttons on your site. So that's something that I would recommend you do. However, you do have Instagram, which is awesome. I would definitely keep your Instagram updated as much as possible. But I would definitely have an area where people can follow you on Instagram, and you're linking to your Facebook. So I would go in here and have a button where people could follow you on Facebook as well. All right. So yeah, you have 116 reviews on Yelp, but not that great. I would kind of focus on maybe your customer service or whatever issue that your customers might be kind of pointing out. The next one, let's see. Next one is check to see if you have any outbound broken links. So if you have any links pointing to other sites, make sure that they work. Make sure that they aren't going to any broken pages. Google hates when there are any broken links on your site. So I'm going to just move this over to do to have you take a look at that. Create a native sitemap. So a native sitemap is essentially a one-pager that lists out all of the links on your site that helps people kind of give them a high-level overview of what kind of pages you have. But doesn't appear that you have a native sitemap on your website. So I'm going to move that over to do. Lastly, add schema markup to enhance your visibility. So this really helps with improving click-through rates onto your site. So schema markup really helps with creating like the stars that you see on Google or the additional links that you see on Google. And it helps Google better understand the structure of the content on your site. So it's important to have that. So let's see if you have any schema markup. It looks like, yeah, it looks like you do have schema markup listed here, but it doesn't look like you have the full schema markup. So I would look a little bit closer into it and just to make sure you have all of the elements on there. So I'm going to move that over to do. All right, so we completed our quick SEO audit. A lot of room for improvement, as you could see here. I think your indexation pillar is the one that's performing the best, but everything else, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.